Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I'm going to show you how to make homemade meringues that you will then use to make this cup of deliciousness. This is an Eton Mess. If you were to travel to the west of London, to the royal town of Windsor, you would come across one of the oldest and most prestigious schools in the world, Eton College. This dessert, which is believed to have been formed there, combines crushed meringue, whipped cream and strawberries, and was apparently served at the annual cricket match between the students of Eton College and Harrow, another prestigious school. So as I show you how to make this delicious summer dessert, sit back, relax and enjoy this episode. For today's Brilliantly British Eton Mess, you will need the following ingredients in front of me here. You will need some strawberries, some caster sugar or icing sugar, some heavy whipping cream, some eggs and a lemon. That's it. But actually, that isn't quite it. What you will also need to do to stay hydrated is to get yourself a nice cup of hot tea and sip on that whilst you cook. Okay guys, before we start making anything at all, particularly the meringue, what you want to make sure is that you choose a nice large bowl made of either glass or metal. You definitely don't want to use a bowl made of plastic. Plastic tends to hold on to grease, and grease means that your meringue won't be as good as it should be. This rule also goes for the whisk that you will use. Definitely don't use a plastic whisk. Okay, the correct equipment has been chosen. The next thing to do is to separate our egg yolks from our egg whites, making sure that we don't get any yolk within the egg whites. Okay, we've separated our egg whites from our yolks, and then one other thing I will say is that by no means should you throw the yolks away. This is the perfect opportunity to make something like, say, an apple crumble with a proper egg custard, or a cherry pie also with an egg custard. Just whatever you do, do not throw these yolks away. Okay, we've separated our egg whites. Now you will need to know how much sugar you need to add to your egg whites to make your meringue. And so all you need to do is take the figure that you have on your scale and then double it, and that is how much sugar you will need. Okay, we're almost there. We know the equipment we should use, we've separated our egg whites, we know how much sugar we need. The last thing to do before we start whipping up this meringue is to juice a lemon so that we have some acidic lemon juice to help stabilize the meringue. Okay, what I'm going to do now is to add about a tablespoon of the freshly squeezed lemon juice to the egg whites, and what this will do is stabilize the meringue once it's been whipped. With the lemon juice added to the egg whites, what you will need to do now is switch on your oven to begin preheating. But we can now finally start on a very, very low speed to whip the egg whites and begin to start the process of making a meringue. Into the lightly beaten egg whites, gradually pour in the sugar, remaining at a constant speed until all of the sugar has been added. When all of the sugar has been added, continue to whip for a further minute before testing to see if the sugar has dissolved completely. If it hasn't, then whisk at the same speed until the sugars completely dissolve, after which turn up the speed to beat the mixture to stiff, glossy peaks. With the egg whites ready and your oven preheated, on a baking paper lined tray, portion out the egg whites before baking them low and slow until they harden and easily detach from the tray, as you can see. Crucially, to cool the meringues, switch off your oven and leave them to cool within the still warm oven. Meringues, for best results, need to cool slowly. Okay guys, welcome back. I've allowed the meringues to cool. I've gone ahead and chopped up the strawberries. What's left to do now is to whip up the cream. When you've whipped your cream, ideally you want to whip it to soft peaks. You don't want to go for stiff peaks, although it's a matter of preference. I recommend going for soft peaks. Okay, to a portion of my strawberries, I'm now going to add a little bit of sugar, and then I'm going to crush them to release their juices. To assemble the Eton Mess, first what I'm going to do is take one of the meringues and crush it like so. Beautiful. Crunchy, a bit chewy. Then in will go the cream. The great thing with Eton Mess is that there's no rules really with how to make it. You make it how you like. If you like it thicker or more runny, it's up to you. You can go the crushed strawberries. And then I'm going to add my whole strawberries that I didn't crush. Grab my serving glass, grab a spoon, and that is a complete and ready Eton Mess. You always want to make an Eton Mess when you are ready to eat it. You don't want to make this thing in advance. You want to make it fresh. Tasting, here we go. I'm going to give you the verdict on how good, we already know it's good, on how good this Eton Mess is. So, in I go. Oh, that's delicious. Let me break it down for you. You've got the crunch from the meringue, which is still a bit chewy. Perfect. You've got some whole strawberries in there, which strawberries are strawberries. I mean, it's summer. You ought to be having strawberries this time of the year. And the cream. I've said this before, the wonderful thing of whipped cream, and you have all of these three elements in your hand. Honestly, guys, it is not even a joke how good this is. When you make this, because I know you will make this, please make this. Send us some pictures. Let us know in the comments how good this recipe was, please. Guys, thank you so much for allowing me to show you how to make homemade meringues and an Eton Mess. If you liked this episode, which I know you did, click the like button, subscribe to this channel, follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on. Tell everyone about the Brilliantly British food on this channel, and I will see you next time.